Well, has anybody thought of this scenario? Donald Trump wins the popular vote, but the electoral votes go for the Democrat. Somebody's going to say they can't do that. If he wins the state, the electoral college has to vote for it. Well, right now in the Supreme Court, they're trying to get this heard because there was a couple of states. I know one of them was, I believe, Washington, where the person who won the state, the electoral college voted to go with a different candidate. Now, this is the issue with our elections. Most of us know that the popular vote is not really what elects the president, right? It's the electoral college. It's been that way. Could this be another still the election type incident that everybody claimed happened last time? It could very possibly be, because we all know what happened last time. We go to bed, Trump was winning, we wake up and all these votes come in and Biden won, right? I don't think they'll call the election. It's, used to growing up, you'd watch the presidential election and you would know that night who won, or very early the next day. I believe this year we will not know who actually won the election for possibly a couple weeks, really, because if Trump wins the election, Biden's going to, throw up and say, hey, we need to take this and recount this, redo that. The same thing Trump was trying, and they told him, that, hey, you lost, you just need to go on and deal with it. But you'll know there's going to be lawsuits and everything going on. No matter who wins this election, everybody's going to be suing everybody, right? They're going to be, this vote don't count, that vote don't count. Same old stuff. What we're seeing, I believe, with these legal immigrants coming in, we're not even allowed to call them that no more. They're changing the definition of everything now. I believe they're going to give them the right to vote. I really do. Sorry if you hear the grandkids in the background. I'm outside and they're out here playing before the storms come. But our elections are just, they weren't right when I was growing up, but they've gotten a lot worse, right? Does your vote actually count? Honestly, who's to say anymore? Because it's your duty to go vote. I'm not telling you not to go vote, right? But we all know whoever wins is who they want to win. We've seen this before. It's not just the Trump incident. It's happened before. So, I think we may see some type of deal happen here, where the Electoral College messes up the election, where they refuse to vote. If Trump wins the state, they refuse to vote for him. And if this finally gets in front of the Supreme Court here, that is going to be a huge deal if the Supreme Court says Electoral College does not have to go with the person who won the state. Or they could say, yes, they have to vote for the person that won the state. It's a mix-up. Will we see it before the election? Will they get it in front of the Supreme Court by then? I'm not sure. But if it does go and they say that, hey, the Electoral College does not have to vote for the person who wins the state, yeah, you know what's coming then. You know it's a setup, right? Because honestly, how can Biden win again? How can he? I mean, I'm fixing to be 47 years old. I was born during the Carter administration, and I went through, let's see here, Reagan, Bush, Clinton, Bush, Obama, Trump, and Biden. This is the worst president I've ever seen in my life. I mean, just look what's going on over there with Ukraine and Russia, right? We will not send this. We will not do that. That will be us fighting the Russians. That's World War III. But yet we're sending everything over there that we said we wouldn't. Guys, no matter who wins this election, it is not going to fix what's going on right now. If Trump wins it, it is not going to change everything back to normal. It's not. We are in a decline, and we have to go through this. We just got to hope that we're able to come out the other side. We got to hope that. What if a huge war breaks off and Biden's the president? Do you trust him? Seriously, to control the nuclear stuff? I don't. From what I've always read and you see on TVs and stuff, this man has to, if he has to launch a nuclear weapon, he's got to do these codes, right? Can he even get the code out of his mouth to launch a nuke? This is the worst I've ever seen in America. People say, well, the economy's great. The stuff's on the shelves. The stores are packed, everything. But the prices are so daggum high now. and they're not coming back down. And I've told you before, the prices being up is not supply and demand. It is greed. It is corporate greed. That's plain and simple all it is. Everybody's trying to get their dollar before everything collapses, right? Everybody's trying to make that money because they know what's coming that's in control of this stuff. But Trump, if he wins, it's because they want him in there. Plain and simple. They want him to be the president. But I think what we're going to see is quite possibly the Electoral College votes going against Trump, even if he wins the state. And if it goes through the Supreme Court and all of a sudden it's a law that, hey, you don't have to vote for whoever wins the state, we're setting up a very bad thing here. Because we're already in the point of whoever wins is who they want, right? Then your vote really won't count. It really won't, because the Electoral College is who will elect the president. Plain and simple. Guys, it's got to the point where I'm like, how do we fix this? How can we fix what's wrong? You have to collapse it all. It has to completely go away and fall apart and start over. That is the only way. But guess what? When you start over, guess what happens in another 100, 200, 300 years, right? What happens then? They're in the same boat. I mean, I've told people the January 6th insurrectionists, you got to understand the people that call them that. You have to understand that that's the same thing that our founding fathers would have been called back then. They really would have. They would have been called insurrectionists, and we wouldn't be a country right now. We wouldn't. We would still be under British law if they hadn't done that. So I don't know. You're at the point where in America you can't speak your mind. If you're against something, like, hey, I ain't against this election's not right. Now with Trump getting in trouble for this stuff, they're setting a precedent where if anybody disagrees with election results, you could go to jail for it. I mean, that's really what they're setting up here. And how do we fix it? Number one, there's not enough people in America willing to stand up to stop it and say, hey, we need to start over. There's not enough, because now you got, anytime you jail, your rights will get stripped away from you. I mean, they've got us. They've got us like this, and they know it. They've got us. And the world's not getting any better. Trump, if he wins, is he going to turn it around? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But it's not going to be overnight. And all these illegal immigrants, I still don't know if we can call them that. I may get in trouble for that. Everybody wants them deported, right? Which is what we should do. We should deport them back to their country. Guess what? That costs you and me money. Every way you turn around here costs us money. They let them come into the country. You, me, paying for it. Deport them. You, me, paying for them. It's not coming out of these politicians' pockets. It's not. They're not the ones paying for this. We are. It's kind of hot over this deal. Let me know your thoughts on it. Keep your head on the swivel. Be aware of your surroundings all the time. Protect yourself and your family at all times. This is our 802nd video. Some of you that's been with me longer knows it's a lot more than that, but we lost a whole year's worth of video due to the stuff we couldn't talk about. So we're still trying to gain subscribers. We gained a couple yesterday, and I'm going to tell you something I noticed. At the end of it, I went back and checked my analytics on yesterday's video. It had, let's just say, 450 views. It was only shown in the feed 502 times. So my videos aren't even getting out into the feed to be seen, because out of 502 people in the feed, 450 watched it. That would make you think, well, that's got good views, right? I think we're shadow banned. I really do, because I have went on other people's phones or laptops and try to type in like a hashtag to something I put on, and it doesn't even pull my videos up. But thank you to everybody who is subscribed. Thank you to the people, the new subscribers. Welcome. We're going to keep putting videos out, and hopefully we grow one day, but probably that day will be long gone, right? Maybe 100 years from now, these videos will be popular. I don't know. Stay safe and keep prepping.